So as you can see, I've started digging down to that ice that's right near the rover. And in getting down here, I dug up a ton of organics. In fact, I'm still getting mostly organics. I need to try and get more of this ice. Oh, and that's my inventory full. In fact, let's make sure this gets stored in the O2H2 generator. That hole go. I'm gonna have more organics than I know what to do with. Maybe with all these organics and ice, we can turn some of that into and start growing some hydroponics and make some algal paste. Oh, I gotta remember to speak up a bit. The suit mic is not the best. So there we go, that's that full. And then we've got a bunch in the food processor. The proper term is small food protein resequencer. We'll melt down some more of that into water. And I'm going to... I put a GPS waypoint, but let's put one right on this spot where I started digging. And, well, I guess I might as well grab the stuff I've already broken out.
Inventory full.
But I don't want to use up my whole inventory just on ice. That would I need room for stone. And speaking of stone, is our best bet. It's down this way. I don't think I've been down here yet. Well, no, I haven't been down here because I came across that ice and then started recording and then started gathering some of it. So this wall looks pretty out of the way. I need to put a backup camera on this thing. Be better than the drone cam. So yeah, I'm gonna mine up a bunch of stone and I'll come back to you in a bit. Alright, let's take stock. While I've been away, well, the sun has come up, so I worked through the night. There was a storm. I considered pausing and talking to you, but yeah, the storm would have made it difficult to understand. So as you can see, I've processed a bunch more stone, anticipating that we're going to have to do some building soon. I went and melted down some water, made a bit more food, and I've never really had to do food before on previous missions, so I know I need nutrient solution, but I have no idea how much or how little. So I just made up 50 units. Is it liters? 25 liters? Um, yeah, and we'll see how much we need. It occurred to me too that some of you may not know what's going on here. So I thought I would talk a little bit about why we're here. I'm a wildcatter. I go out and I scout resources on planets. In particular, I look for planets that the major corporations might overlook or have already passed on because it just would have been too much effort, that may still have resources worth selling to somebody. And this Pertam planet has been passed up by a lot of organizations already, and I have a source that says it actually could be worthwhile. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to find some resources, get the beginnings of a sort of forward outpost going, and see if we can't sell that location and resource extraction rights to some corporation. I did have a location scouted out and prepared by previous orbital scans, but well, as you heard from the previous vlog posts, I didn't, I was lucky to get landed with my life. This is a a rough job. This is sometimes. So we're just gonna have to see if we can find one of these locations, or just come across some new location that hadn't previously been discovered. And I currently don't know where I am. So without any particular destination in mind, I was thinking I might just point in one of the cardinal directions as relative to this planet and go that way until I find something useful. Like I said, I anticipate we're going to need to do some building, and I'd really like to find a spot with some iron, nickel, silicon, and cobalt in particular. We can get iron, nickel, and silicon just by processing the stone. It takes considerable time and effort, but if we could find ore deposits, that would speed things up and save us a whole ton of power and time. But cobalt, we cannot, our equipment can't produce cobalt. It's just not it doesn't exist in the stone in quantities that we can make use of. So we really do need cobalt. We do need to find a cobalt ore deposit. And like I said, we could refine the rest from stone, but it would be so much better if we could find a cluster of resources together. It would be much more time efficient. Time, power, in particular. Sorry, I'm just looking at where to go next. This looks like it might be a dead end. Oh, but we are finding resources again. That little, well, as we've been scouting this planet, we've been calling them oases. It was the last time I spotted anything until just now. So I wonder if those oases are kind of in the middle of nowhere. That might be an interesting discovery. Another thing... Awesome. Eye-centered. We can't back off of it. I think I saw some parts flying. Yep. And I saw something going over here. I gotta be more careful. That could have been bad. I'm gonna need to grab a drink too. So what did we damage? Oh, my body, the bodywork it looks like. Get the welder out. We can interrogate things with the welder. I would like to, once we kind of get established at our cobalt location, our resource location, like to build and repair robot, just for sort of taking care of our equipment. I think that could be quite handy. Oh, also, we refined all of that stone up. I think we probably have 230 gravel to make food with. Yuck. Yeah, see, this is what I was worried about. We have a whole bunch of gravel here, so we can just get rid of that. Let's see, combine all of these in the inventory. The survival kit sometimes just throws things where it can find them. Where it can find space. Yeah, you see, the amount of usable iron we get out of the stone is considerably higher than the amount of nickel. The silicon's not terrible. I mean, it's kind of sandy, I suppose. But yeah, nickel, we're going to want a bunch of that eventually. And it would just require, pardon me, a ton of stone to get what we're going to need. But this gravel, I mean, I hate to just throw my trash on a new, well, I guess it's not new. There are outposts and such here. Or at least maybe nobody will drive over that. Again, I keep my drill out when I'm looking around because it has a limited range ore detector of its own. So it's handy to just have it out, even though it's kind of bulky. So at the moment we're heading west, which is opposite of what I said I wanted to do. We needed to kind of get out from that spot. I really thought we would have found a... I'm not going backwards, am I? There's some more iron. The reports of this planet were that it was really hostile and had very few resources, and the resources are definitely scarce, but I think we could make it work. And sure, there do seem to be actual hostile factions here, but it's perfectly drivable, which is something the a potential major corporation would be looking for. It's so much more cost effective to use wheeled vehicles in resource gathering than it is to try to use aerospace vehicles, at least in the initial extraction and production. So I think the reports that this planet was unhospitable to modern manufacturing were exaggerated or just entirely wrong. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue heading east. Silicon, yeah, we're definitely getting into a more resource-rich area. I'm going to continue heading east, and I will pause the recording and bring you back if I should come across something interesting. So I'll talk to you in a bit. Well, it's only been a few minutes, and for such an inhospitable planet, I do seem to be finding lots of ice. It's a shame there doesn't seem to be a lot of other resources nearby. So I guess I'm just going to mark this and keep on exploring. I guess if we found some resources near here, that maybe this could be a good spot. Again, we have the problem though that we're surrounded by hills, so we'd have to build up there and not directly on the ice. I don't know. I'm gonna continue driving, and I'll bring you back when I find something interesting. Thought I'd bring you back for a few minutes before we lost the sun. I seem to have found another oasis, although somehow I've ended up on the top of one of these giant plateaus. You see, I've also found a couple of other gold nodes. In fact, that AU3 one over there, I'll go back to that because I came up through there, and I think that's how I ended up here. I'm gonna. I don't know if I want to try to make it to that oasis or not. I don't know if that's worth it. Yeah. Actually, before I go, if you don't mind, I'm going to grab a quick bite and a drink. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right place. But I'll go back over to this gold 3. And you see, I keep finding individual resources, and I have found up here. I did find one spot where they were kind of close, but I don't particularly want to start up on one of these big plateaus, because what I have in mind is to build a wait a second, am I already on? I'm lost, because I thought I crossed this to get to the gold. And oh, good grief, look over there. I bet that's another oasis. But I went through here, I thought, going this way already. Oh, I know why. It's because I went around to my right here. You see this crater, I guess? I think I went around the other side of that, and I've just come back the wrong way. So, because I was over across there when I discovered the gold, but came over here to mark it. Whoa. Get the drone straightened out before you cross the narrow land bridge. You see, we've had a couple more hostile signals pop up too. So how did I get up here? Well, I'm going to try and work my way down. And maybe we'll try and make it to one of those oases and see if they might be any good. Is this passable? Doesn't look like it. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, here we are back at one of the oases. I found my way down, I think, over that way, and then I came in... I don't know. But the GPS marker I placed overlooking an oasis was over there, so I think this is the second one I found from where I crossed near AU3, which is probably up in there somewhere. This spot's not terrible. We have ice, nickel, iron. We could do with some cobalt. But I think I'm going to try and make my way around and see if I can't figure out where that one is as well. So let's do that. I'm going to go out. I can't get out this way. Came in over something like this. Is this where I came in? By that turned around, there's some cobalt. Yeah, that might have been where I came in actually. But, so I started to say I don't want to build up on one of those big plateaus because what I think I want to build is a bigger rover actually. Something we could put some production facilities on because we're clearly going to need some ability to refine magnesium because the only ammo I have is for my rifle. I don't have any for even the small gun on top of this truck. So yeah, we're gonna want to be able to refine some magnesium so we can make some ammo, which even if I had magnesium I can't make in the survival kit. So what I was thinking is we build a bigger rover with some production capability on it in order to try to make our way to whichever is the best of the oases we can find. So far these haven't been great for permanent setups. Hey, what do we have here? Okay, I bet we're almost there. I bet this is it. Park here and hop out. Yeah, that's got to be it. So this has got to be the one that we found. And there's cobalt that way. I'm going to try and go out that way, I think. But I'll mark this one. And that GPS up there, you can hide that one. We don't need that really. I know I'm kind of backtracking. I said I was going to head east. Well, here we go. I'm heading east again. Maybe there isn't a way out this way. That's not looking good. Maybe. Anyway, so yeah, I want to build large rover production facilities, and that way when we do either see if we can find a way to get some nav data to a good settling place or stumble across a good oasis to settle on, we can get straight to, you know, we can get to production really quickly. The other thing is that if I have a bigger rover, I can improve my efficiency of my food production. Also, when we initially build it, I can build it attached to the ground, and that should give us the support we need to use wind turbines, so we can get a whole bunch of power stored up in some batteries. And if we wanted later, we could anchor ourselves back down to the ground and put up some more turbines until we do come across ice. So yeah, I'm gonna wander around a bit more and see if we can't find this elusive co-location of resources. In fact, I think there might be a resource here. Sometimes you can tell by the surface. In fact, silicon, cobalt, and nickel right here. Kind of wide open area. We do have hostiles 4 clicks away. And look, iron close enough. Hey, check that out. This is our spot. Couldn't have planned that better. So let's look around. Maybe we set up the one we're going to want the most is the iron. Being close to the cobalt is good. Maybe we set up closer to the iron. Here's the center of these resources. The cobalt's the deepest, that's not surprising. We can kind of get right on top of the nickel and silicon right here. The cobalt, maybe we set up a build area out there with a mine entrance coming this way toward here. I've said before I like to try to use my jetpack as little as possible. So I will build a completely walkable mine. So let's say we come out, sorry, I didn't do the math. Get right on top of the silicon and the nickel. Let's call it right there. So 30 meters would go 90 meters, excuse me, 45 meters. If we drill down from about here, we should have a nice walkable path. Yeah, perfect. So I think actually I'm going to wrap up the vlog here, and in the next vlog we'll, in fact, I'll mark a GPS here. Mine entrance here-ish. I'll the next vlog we'll start setting up our build area so that we can get a bigger rover on the go, something with better facilities. So I will catch you next time.